Happy New Year, everybody. It's 2022. And yeah, we still at it. We still at it. This is a Wednesday, first Wednesday of 2022, mind you. And it is 6:30, and you know what we do. It's all about science chats, SciComm chats with Nzigi. And obviously, we're starting off with a bang because how else can we start off the year, right? Today, we have Dr. Simo Mthethwa. He is a mathematician, a researcher, and lecturer at UKZN. I'm not going to waste time. I'm going to bring him right on and let's get this conversation started. Okay. Let's just bring him on. And he joins, we can have a chat. Remember to engage, ask questions. That comment box is for that. And if you have very specific questions, use that question mark in the speech bubble and let's get this conversation started. Good evening.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. And how are you? Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year to you as well. I'm also good. I'm also good.
Thank you. Thank you. So you can see me, you can hear me?
Loud and clear. Loud and clear.
Perfect. So we're going to go right into this because I know from previous experience, 30 minutes is very short.
Okay.
Okay, so let's
should I use the time?
Don't worry. I'll try and pace myself a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So for people who don't know you, let's get to know you. Who is Dr. Simo Mthethwa?
Yeah, Dr. Simo Mthethwa is a lecturer at UKZN. He's a mathematics lecturer at UKZN, and he was born in KwaZulu-Natal, in a small town that we call Mpangeni. He was born and raised there in a village, in a small village that we call Mthethwa. That's a village that I'm from, specifically Esapuza. That's where I'm from. But yeah. Yeah.
So how does a young boy from the village grow to be a mathematician? Tell us a little bit about that journey.
Yeah, man, I've always been, fascinated, like when it comes to numbers. I always loved numbers as a young boy. So I think as early as primary school, I remember in primary school, I wanted to have a book of my own. I thought I was smart enough to come with a formula of my own. And I used to tell my friend that I want to have a book, a mathematics book of my own when I grow up. When I got to high school, I think that dream sort of died because maybe I wasn't enjoying mathematics. Grade 8, grade 9, I wasn't focused. I don't know what happened, but it sort of died. And then when I was doing grade 10 to 11, again, I started having this thing of wanting to have a mathematics book of my own. Luckily, there was at school, they used to invite these outside teachers to come and teach us different concepts. One day, they invited someone from UniZulu, University of Zululand, and he kept on saying that we're going to learn this stuff at university. So I went to him after the lesson. That guy was Mabaso, doctor. He's now Dr. Mabaso. I went to him and then asked him, why can't we learn this now? Why do we have to postpone this to university? And he told me that, yeah, we don't have time, we don't have tools yet. So if you want to learn this stuff, you would want to enroll at a university level. And so that's what I did. I applied to UKZN and other universities. Luckily, I got accepted in all of them, so I chose UKZN, I suppose because it was in KZN. And I remember speaking to my lecturer at the first year. I told him that I want to have a mathematics book of my own. He laughed at me. His name was Dr. Gwembi. He said, well...
I remember him because he laughed.
I remember him very well. I remember him very well. He said, well, you would want to then complete your degree. And I remember he had a tiny voice, a voice that is opposite to the one of my own. He was like, well, if you want to do that, you would want to continue after your BSc. so that's what I did. I completed my BSc at UKZN in mathematics and statistics, and I did some computer science as well. And then I did my honors in pure mathematics, and then my master's as well in pure mathematics, and my PhD as well. So that's, in a nutshell, that's how that story goes.
Wow. So mathematics has, from what you're saying, I can pick that mathematics has always been you. Never mind something in you, but it's just always been you. Because you haven't mentioned anything like you wanted to be a doctor or something, and then you just happened to end up in mathematics. No. It's just this is what you wanted from day one.
So, from a very, very young age. I remember when we were doing a career thing in grade 10. Our life orientation teacher, she was patient enough to ask each and every one of us what exactly you want to be when you're done, when you're older. So people wanted to be doctors, lawyers, and all that. And I said I wanted to be a mathematician. The whole class laughed at me, simply because I think they did not understand what a mathematician is. I'm not sure whether I'm not sure whether I had a full picture of what a mathematician is, because at that point, all I wanted to have is a book of my own. And mentally, my thing was, once I have this book, I'll then sell it. That's how I'll start to make money and things like that. But yeah, it's always been my thing.
So you said you wanted, it was always about this book. But did you have any role models that you saw, even like, I want to be like that person? Or was it just a matter of, I just want to have a book?
I'll be lying if I said I had a role model. Well, I started having academic role models when I was at tertiary, when I was, I started doing some research and started to see who does what way and who's the best in doing what way. So that's when I started, having different academic role models. But at high school and primary, I'll be telling lies if I said I had a role model.
Wow. Okay, so fast forward, we are here. You now have Mthethwamatics. Tell us about Mthethwamatics.
Well, Mthethwamatics is a movement. We call it a movement. Some call it an NPO, but we as members, we call it a movement. Our goal is to communicate mathematics to everybody. So our target is everybody the general public, everybody, not just schools and universities, but, you know, holistically, everybody. We want to educate the whole society about mathematics and what mathematics has to offer, whether you're talking about careers and things like that. So it's a holistic movement that educates the society about mathematics. So that is what it is. We do this using different programs. We have different sub-programs in the Mthethwamatics movement. We have things like careers in mathematics. This is where we educate the public about different types of careers that mathematics has to offer. And in the current setup, in the COVID-19 setup, we have migrated everything to online. What we usually do, we invite different mathematicians from across the globe to come and just share with us what exactly do they do on a day-to-day basis. So with that, we hope that we might be able to reach to someone or to inspire someone to come and join the mathematics stream. And we also have things like research in mathematics. This is where we talk about people who are doing masters, PhDs, and things like that. They come and tell us in layman's terms what exactly are they doing and how is that going to impact the society and things like that. We also have the actual teaching program. We call it the Teach the Nation program. This is where we do the actual teaching. Me included sometimes. I sometimes teach, but most of the time I like to, you know, give people the platform to do their thing. So we invite learners to teach, not to just come and take lessons. We invite learners to teach. We invite students to teach. We invite teachers to teach, academics like me and everybody else, to come and sort of share the knowledge with the kids in primary and in high school. So we have such programs and things like we run competitions as well. We call it virtual mathematics competition. It started during the lockdown. So this is where we ask kids to send us videos explaining some concepts, and then we give them cell phones and laptops or whatever that we have at that particular point.
Sounds exciting. So with everything that you say, like you said, that you just on a mission to make mathematics exciting, to make it accessible, and those kind of things. So now, let's say you have somebody, because you said your target is everybody, right?
Yeah.
So let's say you have somebody watching and they have two thoughts on mathematics.
Yeah.
It's boring. Two, it's hard. What do you say?
When they say mathematics is boring.
And hard.
And hard. First and foremost, I'll ask them whether I look like something that is boring, which I believe I'm really not. But yeah, man, mathematics is a subject. It's one of those subjects that are perceived to be hard, you know, which is why we have things like Mthethwamatics in the very first place. We are trying to, you know, to show that it's not really what people hear out there, you know. I believe that mathematics is seen to be difficult. It's not difficult, it's just seen to be difficult because one person will tell another person, tell another person, tell another person. And I mean, we have people who have never done mathematics, but they say it's difficult. How do they know? You know, so this is why we have programs like Mthethwamatics, man, to actually share the knowledge and actually showcase that this thing is not really what you hear about out there. It's a beautiful subject. It's very nice. It has some different areas that you can actually, join once you study the subject. So it's not really just a subject, but it's a career path. Once you choose mathematics, it will lend you to some different careers. So that's what I would say. That well, it's not difficult. Don't believe anyone that says mathematics is difficult. It's not really difficult. It's just a beautiful subject that has different career paths, just like any other subject. Yeah.
No, I like that. I like that. I think it's really great that you have such an infectious personality, So I feel like it helps put the message across that you don't have to be a certain kind of way to do mathematics, You can be fun, you can be going, you can be colorful, and still enjoy mathematics. So, in light of that statement, how important do you feel representation is, especially in your field?
Yeah, man. We need, we need representation, man. We need mathematicians from not just from people of my race or anything like that. We need a representation from each and every group, whether race, cultural group, or whatever. Representation is important because if one person, just one person from a certain group, whether a race or a cultural group, if that person understands, say, mathematics and is not selfish, they will come back and share the knowledge that, well, it's not actually what you think it is. You guys can come as well. You can come and study the subject and actually have something out of it. I mean, I always make this example. If you suppose that suppose that in your house, you have someone who is a doctor. Don't you think that you would understand the situation that we are in right now? You would understand the COVID-19 situation better than someone or people who do not have doctors in their home. I believe that you would have a better understanding. So that's an example of a representation. You have a doctor that understands this thing and he comes and shares information with you in the house, with you in the community, and things like that. So each group, each community, each race, whatever, you would want to have some sort of representation. I mean, in this case here, we're talking about mathematics. You would want to have at least one or few people who are in the area so that they will come back and share the knowledge that may help enlighten the whole community. Once you have a representation, you have knowledge. So that's what I believe. So that's why representation is important to me.
Right. No, I like that. You also mentioned something else that the movement does. You said you bring in researchers to explain their research in layman's terms. So here's a challenge for you. Explain your research to us.
Yeah. My personal research. I always say this. I'm a purist, so I enjoy the beauty of the mathematics subject. While on the other side, we have people who are interested in the applications of mathematics to, say, real life setup or applications of mathematics to other branches of mathematics or other branches of science. I don't do that. I don't do applications or anything like that. I'm really interested in the pure and the beauty and the advancement of mathematics. That's what I do on a day-to-day basis. And
Because
that's
of
what I'm doing right now.
because of the book.
So I do research in mathematics to find out some facts about mathematics, to advance mathematics. And it ends there.
I can see that. Okay. Because also, it's important that as much as research is beautiful, research needs to also make sense. You get what I mean? Especially if you're at a university level, especially if you're a lecturer or a researcher at the university level, that means you are technically using taxpayers' money for your research in a way, right? So it makes sense that, or it's only fair that research in some way benefits the community. You know, so that's why I'm asking you, what your research is about and why you're doing it. So if it's about the book, because eventually, I mean, benefiting the community comes in different ways, right? So I guess that makes a lot of sense.
Of course.
We're looking forward to that book.
just to add on what you just said. Research, sometimes it takes time to actually have a situation where you can apply. There are many examples of this. I mean, we have Google, for example. I think Google was launched in 1998, if I'm not mistaken. You can correct me if I am wrong. But if you look at the real reason why Google is sort of above any other search engine, it's because of one theorem in mathematics. There's a theorem that they used to actually be able to store information as people they search. So Google will rank the pages according to the number of search. So if your page is not being searched by anyone, it goes, down the list. So, but to be able to store such information, they use what is called the Baron-Frobenius theorem. And if you look at Google was launched in 1998, and this theorem goes back to 1907. So that's about a century. The theorem was always been there, but it took 90-something years to actually find a situation where it can be used in a fruitful way. So as much as we want to apply the research that what I'm saying is we should be patient with that. You need not be the person who's going to apply your knowledge. Maybe a person 50, 20, 10 years later may come and say, I think this person was up to something. Let me use it for something that will benefit the community. I just wanted to add that. But on the book thing, yes, you're right. You're right.
Okay. You have, okay, this is an exciting one. You are a superhero. Or rather, a super scientist. Let me put it that way.
Yeah. TopDoc.
Tell us a little bit about TopDoc.
TopDoc. Yeah, he's a super scientist. The character was done by a friend of mine, Justin Yero. I think you spoke to him at some point. Yeah. So he's the one who engineered the whole thing. I was just adding to what he had. But TopDoc, you should view him as a super mathematician that when you speak to him, you would want to be a mathematician as well. So that's his superpower. Once you speak to him, you'll want to transform into a mathematician as well. So that is TopDoc. Top.
And have you seen any pictures or any fees that have been shared with you of children in schools getting that card and being very excited about it?
Of course. Yeah, man. In multiple schools. Schools at Umlazi, Chesterville, in Ndwedwe. Yeah, just to mention a few. But I have seen that. Yeah, I've seen actually some schools, they sent me a video of a group of learners just looking at that picture, the TopDoc picture, and they were asking very funny questions. They were asking whether can this man fly? and I told them to tell the kids that mathematically the man can fly.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. But I also saw very recently more mathematicians, especially within Mthethwamatics, became super scientists as well.
Yeah, of course.
How exciting was that for you, especially because they come from the Mthethwamatics movement?
Yeah, you see, that was a result of a competition that we ran. So those three people that you see there, they actually one of the winners of the competition. So there's a kid from, the rural areas in Tambanana, and then there's someone from a university level, from University of KwaZulu-Natal actually, and then there's someone from UNISA. So it's a mixture of different people. So those people were participating in the competition that we ran last year. And as I said, the competition, the way it goes, we just give out concepts, mathematical concepts, and ask that people send us the videos explaining those mathematical concepts, in a video that is no longer than 2 minutes. So, and then we normally have a prize. I think last year we had a laptop and a couple of other prizes, but Justin offered to actually make whoever that has got a better social impact, in a sense that whoever that is, that person's video, if they have better numbers than the other, then Justin will make a character of them, which was very cool. Thanks to Justin for that, and thanks to everybody who actually helped us with the prizes. It's just a lot. It's Justin, and then we have Ethekwini Municipality, we have Northwest Province, that's the Department of Education there. We have a friend of mine as well, kind of sponsored, Bafana Joanna. He's also a mathematician, but he's based in the industry. So this is what I was talking about, that to be a mathematician, you need not just be an academic or be a teacher. You can actually work at an industry, and Bafana Joanna is an example of that.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Speaking of the careers, we are running out of time, so we're not going to go into that. But definitely, something we should probably bring you back on sometime, just to talk about careers. Especially because it is one of those things that are very difficult, and one of the reasons that people do not do science is like, we're not gonna, So it's really great to have that space, stress-free talk.
I agree.
As we round off, I need you to complete the following sentence.
Okay.
I am a science communicator because
Information that is not communicated is almost close to being useless.
full stop.
Think about it. If I know something and I don't communicate to you or anyone, I just know it to be true. Think about it. Who else is going to use that information except myself? And God knows what if something happens to me. How's that information going to be, used? So communication of information, specifically science, is very, very important. Is very important so that other people can find ways to use that information however they can use it.
I don't have anything else to say. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this. I feel like it was a perfect way to start the year. So yeah, thank you so much.
No man, you're welcome. Anytime.
Yeah, and thank you for everybody for watching and joining in. It was incredible. I really enjoyed it.
Thanks to everybody who joined. Thanks. I can see a couple of people that I know personally. I can see my sister is here. Not no underscore M. I think I saw Ndogo Nzima, who was one of our teachers in the program that I told you about, the Teach the Nation program. I think I saw also Simo Mthethwa, who's an academic as well. He's an applied mathematician. I saw a couple of people that I know on a personal level. So thanks to everybody who joined us. We really appreciate it.
And that's it. Have a fantastic evening.
You too. And everybody.
And everybody. And we'll chat again soon.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.